Hey everyone, Justin Umbrella here, and I'm giving you my review of Shokugeki Soma Food Wars, episode 17, the Umami Tightrope. And this is the episode where we finally kick off the Shokugeki between Soma and Akira, or at least the cooking battle for at least the third phase of the exam, while the rest of the royal students had their own exams to take. But the way the episode was done leading up to the battle was split into two ways. Like the first half was basically to explain why Akira joined with Central without even trying to getting him for a fight. Then the actual battle. I'll get to the battle half first. I'll get to the battle half when I get to it. But for now, let's go through the first half of the episode, which basically trying to understand why Akira joined Zami's path to Central instead of fighting against the rebel students. Basically, that was Soma, the Pulsar Doratory, the Aldini brothers, Mikami, Mito, Alice, Rio, and Aina, while Hayama was supposed to be only one of the heroes who should be fighting alongside with them. Now, the reason that this was explained is kind of burden, mostly on the huge side of burden, on Akira's side. It turns out the fact that if Shinomi's research lab, the research lab focused mostly on the spices, was going to be on the way for shutting down, despite having numerous backings from high corporate investors, only to have Azami side to scratch all that. Senjo's going to be focused on this, showing us to lose so many investors to drop out, backing them into a corner like Akira had no choice but to join Central and participate in the Battle Royal for the vacant Jesus Christ, sorry. Do a Battle Royale cooking for the Battle Royale for the vacant 3 Elite 10 spots. And being the fact that he was back into a corner, Akira had no choice but to join the Battle Royale and actually win and get in the one vacant 9th seed for the Elite 10. So basically now understanding how that's not here in the burden, Soma apparently, before I even get to the point of Soma actually burst right out looking for him, I want to point out, right after the opening credits of the episode, right after the opening credits, was then we get to see both Soma and Kuga get ready to go take a bath. And right when they walk in, they see Dojima, Soma, and Kuga senpai. See Dojima stretching his arms out again, but not like this, stretching out like this. And eventually, someone just looked at it and was like, okay, I've seen this before, but Kuga's like, I'm seeing a grown man naked, stretching right in front of my eyes. He doesn't even freak out or anything. Well, not like someone who freaked out for a second, but only just casually accepted it. And then we see Soma and Dojima senpai actually stretching before taking a bath. And during the Gin, not Dojima, Gin explains to Soma what happened with Akira. Gus and Kuga started getting mad at the fact that he had to deal with blaming Azami-san for doing this. Or eventually someone coming to go out there, still wet though, just grab his pants, his jacket, his shirt. I think it's a jacket. He's wearing a school jacket and just looking for it. He's saying, Hayama. He went from cooking, from the kitchen, to a main lobby, to a bathroom, and to a resting area. He eventually finds him in the roof. Still wet, I can remind you, in translating from the manga, Soma was still wet from the bath. Didn't dry himself. I was afraid he was going to catch cold there. But apparently he didn't. At least he was at least dry enough to not more than that much. And explaining and finally understanding why Akira did this, but he doesn't accept the fact that he just straight up did not fight compared to the other students who mostly fought for their clubs to stay, for the Original Society to stay. And the rest of the two had back and forth. One was saying, Soma ultimately saying this, he was talking to him, I will challenge you in this way, like a Shokugeki in a way. I think it's confirmed, not much of confirmed Shokugeki, but the style of the battle is the way of Shokugeki. Instead, he also, not one fact this is going to be the way how the cooking battle is going to be, is resulted in the fact that I cannot lose to a pathetic loser I'm not going to lose to someone who, I cannot lose to a pathetic loser like you. Akira took a little bit of offense to that. And ultimately, we get to see the second half of the episode, which is basically the battle. But before the battle even starts, there was a phone call. There was a scene with Soma talking to Alice on the phone. Rio's also there next to her. Ultimately explaining to Alice that And this is I want to say point out the fact that the reason why someone called Alice specifically, not everybody else until much later, is the fact that Alice, Rio, and Akira were part of the white coat trio that Alice described that she led during the Moon Festival, and eventually all three of them became close friends with each other, or at least kind of like this, along with the other rebel students. And Alice saying that if you beat him, now if we all win this, we're going to move on to the third exam. And Akira, if he loses, he'll have to go back to he will be kicked out of Central, and they're only 10, and be drawn out and be forced to be with rebels. If for those who haven't read the manga, we don't know what I'm talking about here. For those who are anime watchers, it's kind of a bit of let's put like a bit of one scenario. And Alice is only saying, when we see Akira again, when he loses, all of us, by all, they mean immensely the emphasis on all of us, about that every member of the rebel students would bicker or was to complain against Akira for what he did. I don't know how much apology he's gonna. I think we're all gonna forgive him and manage to, because he would be the rebels again. Or I should say he would be with the rebel side. I can only imagine how many apologies it's going to take for Akira to make amends with rebel students, especially with Alice and Rio, who've teamed up together before in the Moon Festival. And right after the phone call was done, Kuga Senpai told him that you really can't have a normal person will be like that. Not every rebel student's going to pass because they're going against the Elite 10. And there were still shots of certain students with the Elite 10 members. And from what I saw, it's Hisako versus Saito Senpai, he was the fourth seed of the Elite 10. There was Mito versus Mo Senpai, the little girl who makes the bakery, who's basically the pastry chef, who's basically his pastry. There is Isumi Aldini versus Aishi Senpai. He's the first seed, and that's a huge staple on him. Of course, we have Megami and Takumi Aldini going up against Rindo Senpai. And there's also those students that we didn't see who they're be facing, but we only get to see a few of them, like Yuki, Ryuki, Shun, and I forgot most of the Polish tournaments, but they had their own problems to deal with. And no one affects what happens later. They can even know exactly who Rio and Alice were competing against. So there's a huge speculation of how they're going to up to this point. And then we finally have to choose. Then we finally start with the battle. But first, we have to deal with three introductions. Actually, two. One particularly interesting for two characters. The first is the two little girls, Sela and Berta, or Berta and Sela. I'm not saying they're both portrayed as twins, but I'm not really too sure exactly who takes top rank and who's the oldest. And the reason I'm very concerned for this moment in this anime from adapting is because for the way how the manga did this foodgasm fan service, that's only because they're mostly all teenagers and young adults. But we're dealing with very preteen, almost like very close, not even teenage girls here who've taken from events to be called kids, because I can call from Kuga Senpai when they end up, pitching his cheeks. I was very concerned how they're going to have to do it, at least because it's tasteful enough to get past their censors. And apparently, because there is this one scene when they both taste the sipping of Akira's sauce, and the way how he did it, he got the spoon with it, and instead of taking a bite, the two girls lick, and he ultimately not take, like they're part of the shows where some of the clothes were like most of the shoulder was exposed. But it's a full-fledged nudity. I'll get to the nudity scene in a bit here. It was basically them wearing very skimpy furry costumes, like the paws, the claw, yeah, like the paws, the ears, completely covered as if they're like just like a sexy Halloween costume, and it looks so. Now my saw was just like face on because I cannot believe they managed to go that. They actually translated that from the manga to the anime, and then keep in mind these girls are very underage. And I'm more surprised about who the creator of the series managed to do that. Got past the censors and sold enough to be published, and managed to get past the censors here in the anime. Thankfully, we only get to see these two girls once, and that's it. But still, the fact that they went that far, I'm just like, okay. I could accept the other food gasms beforehand, even when the guys do it sometimes. But two teenage underage girls, that's where I have to cross the line, my friend. Nope, I am not touching that again. First, I have to mention the fact that when they tasted Soma's dish. And the funny thing about the two girls here is that these are characters, but their origins. The thing they actually are not, they're not related to the Nike family, but they're mostly trained by Alice's mother, who appeared during the final fate, during the triple threat battle between Soma, Akira, and Rio during the honor elections, during the honor elections arc. She made her appearance there, and it turns out that those two were trained by her. You also get to meet her husband, and I forgot his name. I think his name was Nazmi or something. I really completely forgot the husband's name, but at first glance, he's very stern. He's very stern and serious, but then found that he's revealed to be Alice's father. I was going to say something else entirely, but Alice's father. It turns out that he's also a devoted father and husband. So that means he's more on the loving side to the Naku family compared to Azumi, who this happens to be Erina's uncle. We are not going to find the fact that the mother of Alice was Erina's aunt. You know who the uncle was towards his appearance. So he happens to be the stepson. He happens to be the son-in-law to Zazaman Zoda. To Nakini Zazaman, also Ome Nakini. Now moving on to the actual battle. Now moving on to the battle. Yeah, the bear meal set up, and it looks like we've seen someone here going to do the dishes. And the way how the two characters, Gin and Uncle Nazumi. Yeah, I think I'm going to hold Uncle Nazumi. They explained that these two basically are going through a tightrope, basically in close quarters. The boys were wearing nothing but bandage taped on their hands, like swordsmen for in the UFC and UFC fights. Not entirely. I think it's the kind of ones that Matt Riddle wears. And they're just going into her close combat fight, like gloves. I mean, Dean said this is one because this is a fight. All the gloves are coming off because they're not laying down on the line. They're going full-fledged, full frontal for this fight to see who gets the winner win. Akira has 2 wins over Soma. Soma has more bigger pressure because he has no wins against Akira. And he has to deal with the uncertainness of the smellness of the bear meat they're given. But since Akira has a high smell and able to counteract it, he had the higher edge. So Soma's completely against disadvantage here. And a few scenes over here before, first saying doing jabs and uppercuts and all that. Eventually, Soma finishes his dish. Those in a cutlet style, eaten by hand. And the girls get their fruit gasms, of course, which I have to say again, I cannot believe they got past that through the censors, but they did. And by the way, I'm looking at the clock because I haven't watched WWE Backlash for time I'm done with this. But that's a whole other subject. And Uncle Nazumi doesn't get a fruit gasm, but he just gets he unbuttons his tie. For some reason, his jacket, the blazer, comes off, and out of nowhere, his undershirt is completely gone, or maybe the fact that it's undone. I just kind of forgot to realize the undershirt was also undone. And he's he who brought... I'm rushing this off. I might have forgot mostly everybody the character said. And it looks like Soma has a little history first, but they end the episode off. Akira delivers his. And the way that was revealed for the ultimate cliffhanger, the play is set, he lifts the lid, and in the glowing light, I can hear orchestra. I was oh, and that's it. We don't know exactly what Akira Resistance delivered. For those who read the manga, knows what he made. For anime watchers, everyone's left in suspense until next week. And I should mention the fact that there was no manga updates because by this point it's Golden Week in Japan, so there's no manga updates whatsoever. But hope you all like this video, so that's basically it. We're living in a cliffhanger for Akira. We only get to see Soma's dish, and now we get to see Akira's dish next week, and I think we'll get to the conclusion, possibly this next episode, or the episode next to it. I'm going to say mostly on next week's episode, we're going to see the conclusion between Soma and Akira. So until then, leave a like, subscribe, comment, share with a friend, and I'll see you again next time in the next video. Laters.